Jonathan Jones, CBS Sports, alongside Dallas Cowboys head coach and play caller offensively, Mike McCarthy. And Mike, first of all, play calling duties 2023. What's going to be the difference here with these Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, I don't know about different. I think it's just like anything, trying to find our rhythm. We've had a really good off season, and I think my biggest focus is I'm not as worried much about the plays and the entry of it. Is just being connected with our staff and as far as our game plan process. So, looking forward to competing again.
I've heard about a 70-30, 70% is going to be the same, 30% is going to be a little different. I guess what I'm trying to say to you, Mike, is everyone's talking about there's going to be some slight differences, and I don't know what the differences are going to be. I don't know what this offense is going to look like. What's it going to look like?
Well, that's why we play the game. I think it's important. Number one, we talked about the 30%. It was just more about the language. We wanted to make sure we were able to build off of what's been established here in the past, and I think we've done a really good job of that because, it's flowing off everybody's tongue, coming out of the off-season programs. But, schematically, you're always looking to adjust and tweak, and, everybody runs the same concepts, a little differently with different emphasis. So if you recognize the change, great job. So.
Do you love the term Texas Coast offense?
Oh, shoot. With Dallas Cowboys offense, I think it's cool, and I think they recognize, some of the principles and, the adjustments of, how we did it before and how we're going to do it there. So, I got to, to chuckle at it with the quarterback. So, no, I think it's just a little reflective of what we're trying to focus on.
Well, and speaking of the quarterback, he's a guy who he's talked about this offense, and obviously you're going to run the ball, you're going to stretch the teams horizontally, the defenses. Are you going to be judicious throwing the football down the field, or is he going to be airing it out a little bit?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you got to run your offense that really focus on getting the ball to your playmakers. Ball distribution is the key, and our perimeter group's a little different than it was last year. You take a man like Zeke out of your offense. I mean, he was a primary ball carrier for us and from attempt standpoint. So where are those attempts going to? So that's really what we're focused on. But yeah, how we get it down the field and who we get it to. I like the really short routes that go 70 yards. Those are my favorites. So. But yeah, you have to challenge down the field all the time. This league's about big play opportunities. You cannot win in the National Football League without big play production in all three phases.
You mentioned running back usage, and Tony Pollard's obviously a home run hitter. You talk about loving those long ones. I mean, what is the expectation for his sort of usage, considering the player that he is?
Well, frankly, it's just how we use him is one thing, and I think definitely. Tony gives you the ability to get in and out of the zone with pattern schemes. I mean, there's really not a concept you would stay away from with him. So that's obviously speaks to his versatility. But it's getting him the football. Make sure he has plenty of attempts at the plate, and that'll be the focal point.
Brandon Cooks, when you guys traded for him, I said, "Oh, this is going to be good for Mike," because you have a guy who, at his other force stops, he's been able to produce everywhere, 1,000 receiving yards, right? Yeah. And not only is he going to have that speed to stretch the field, but he seems like a guy that you're going to be able to coach, and he's going to understand whatever language you're speaking in. What does a chameleon like that do for you?
I mean, it has been better than you could have ever anticipated, and I think the reality is from afar you've always admired Brandon because he's done it at such a high level at every stop. So, this is really a process of the last 2 years. I mean, this is something that we've been talking about for quite some time, and then for it to come together was really awesome for both us as a team, and I know he was excited about it. But his leadership and professionalism and his connection with the locker room, and we haven't even played the game yet. It's been extremely impressive.
How about Micah Parsons, who he was moved around a lot his first year, obviously stays more a little bit on the edge last season, two-time first-team All-Pro through 2 years. What's going to be his role, and what sort of next step does he need to take?
Well, I think he established his role fairly early in the league, and he's an elite player, and elite players require extra attention, so we benefit from that as a defense. So it's important for us to make sure we're giving him opportunities to make plays, but he definitely makes the other 10 around him. It creates other opportunities for the other 10 guys around him. So, I think it's a huge advantage for us.
Your old quarterback, I want to get the quote right. He said recently that you would say that our greatest difficulty is going to be handling success. Is that a mantra that you're going to be repeating with this group this year?
Ironically, that was the topic for today. You have a topic in each and every team meeting, and we have building blocks that I think every coach establishes, whether you call them pillars or building blocks, and handling success is to me is the biggest challenge in life, let alone our professional endeavor here. And there's devils at every level, whether it's a good practice and good game, winning 4 or 5 in a row, and then obviously winning this league brings more attention. And I don't know how the hell we can get more attention than we already got with the Dallas Cowboys, but it can happen. So no, I just think it's something that we all need checked, and I think not only internally but the external effects that it has on you, because I think any time in life when you do move forward and have success, there's the expectations from others changes, and that's an eye opener for all of our players, and some have it sooner than others, and I think that's all part of the emotional grind of the National Football League.
What's the teaching lesson there then? If the devil's at every level, are you always saying, hey, you're never as good as what people are telling you? Are you telling everybody to stay humble? What are the teaching moments?
Yeah, I think humility is its own building block, and it is here. So, but yeah, I think it's at the end of the day, we're just trying to focus on what it takes to win the World Championship. Because we've all signed contracts, we're all committed to this thing. Every team in the league, feels this way this time of year. We're in Oxnard, California. It's 75 degrees, so everything's pretty good right now. So, but this is a long journey, and these are just focal points that are great reminders for all of us.
What makes you confident that this team is ready to take that last and final step here?
To me, it always starts in the locker room, and you come together in year one. You have a program of how you want to do things, and then obviously we had the pandemic, but I felt like we hit our stride in 21, and training camp out here last year. That was kind of a okay, here we go moment. When I left here last year, I felt really good about our team, and that we were ready to take the next step. And I think a lot of those characteristics and things, experiences that we've seen already throughout the spring, I think we have a chance to take another step. So I feel great about the players. Really the commitment that they put in the off-season program. We're going through the install phase of our training camp, but the really review days. You can see that in the missed assignments and the mental errors and so forth. So off to a good start, but they're definitely made of the right stuff.
Love it, Mike McCarthy. Thanks so much.
Thank you.